Once you've registered your database with Azure AD, you'll need to take the metadata information from Azure AD to enable your OCI database to connect with Azure AD. The information you'll need from Azure AD is the tenancy ID, the app ID, and the app ID URI. So from the last video, you can get that information from the overview screen from your app registration. What we did was example database. Directory tenant ID is here, you can copy that. The application client ID is right here. And the application ID URI is something you set, and it starts with HTTPS. So you take that information, you open up your autonomous database. This is for shared infrastructure. Go into database actions, which is right there. Click on SQL, and you'll start your SQL developer worksheet here. First, you want to find out if an external directory was already set for this autonomous database. So you just select name value from the $v parameter where name equals identity provider type. So you run that, and you find that the value is none, which means nothing has been set. So now you can set this to Azure AD, and what we need to do is you run the DBMS Cloud Admin command, enable external authentication. It's Azure AD is what you want to set it to, and then you need to send some parameters. And this is where those Azure AD parameters, the metadata comes in. The tenant ID goes right here. The application ID goes here. And the app ID URI goes in the third spot. Now, this force equals true is something you need to use if there's another one like CMU or OCI IAM was already set. If it's not set, you can ignore. You don't need to use the force equals true. And so let's run this, and then we'll do a query to find out what the identity provider type is. All right, thing executed, and the identity provider type is now Azure AD. So now you've successfully completed enabling the autonomous database shared for Azure AD integration.